right. All right, good afternoon to everybody listening to us this afternoon. I want to welcome you especially to this broadcast. And then my name is Francis. So today I'm back to Accra and we want to do our business and leadership webinar. This those who want to make money. This is the right for you to invite other. We all study together. So this afternoon we have a friend of mine from India, and it's very late there. So we want to not waste much time this afternoon. We just put so let's get connected. Let's get connected. Let's get connected. Welcome. Welcome. How do you say welcome in India? Hello, Fatima. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, please, can you hear me? I thought so. Let me try bringing her back. Okay, so welcome everybody again. I think we have Madam Fatima back. Um, let me try and see. Please, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm not getting your voice here. Kindly check. Can you hear my voice, please? Okay, let's hear from you. Not getting you here, but can try working on your sound for us. If you can, then we just go straight to the presentation.
Hello.
Hello, Fatima. Welcome.
Hi, Francis. Thank you. I hope you're able to hear me now.
Hi, Francis. Thank you. I hope you're able to hear me now. I'm doing very well. I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Sorry for the network issue. I
Sorry for
think,
the network issue.
yeah, we can
No
proceed.
problem. No problem. Yeah, we can proceed. So please, can you go through the slides now so that we can take questions after?
Yeah, definitely. So,
Yeah, definitely.
thank you, first of all.
So,
Thank you for having me,
thank you,
Francis.
first of all. Thank you for having me, Francis.
I'll be talking a little about. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you, please. Please, you can go on. I'm listening.
Okay.
We are on.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, the very
Okay.
first thing,
So yeah, the very first
let's
thing,
deep dive into the topic right away because I think we have already, we are much, we have been a little late already. So I'll try to keep things as simple as I can about this particular topic that I'll be speaking about, which is an international business partnership. So first thing, let's break it down. Let's break this entire term and understand what business partnership in general is. So why do we do business? First of all, it's simple, right? The ultimate goal is to make money and big money. Now, why do we look for a partner? Primarily because you think that your ideal partner company should bring in some skill set, either in terms of human resource or technology or network that will help you make money faster, right? Or maybe for fun, so that you don't have to take all of the burden on yourself. So I think these are the major factors that we consider if we decide on taking up on getting into a partnership business. Now when it comes to running a business, the relationships that you make with other companies are a mutually beneficial business relationship that you create, because it helps your business grow at reduced cost. It kind of creates synergies and gives the companies the cost and benefit advantage. And I think this is the most legit reason, why one should never look down on partnering with someone, because the upsides weigh a lot stronger than downsides. And now when I talk about relationship, it is an asset to any organization. And how will it help you achieve success? uh, will will also answer a question to why should one look for international business partnerships or global partners a little more in detail. Now, we look for global partners because we want to expand our business on a global level. We want to reach more number of customers, or we want to, enter a new market or geography, enter into a new business line altogether, and so on.
And again, please, can you connect your sound? Okay, it's back.
Hello.
Hello? Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I lost the track because
Okay,
I thought you
I
were
lost the
listening.
track because
Which
I
was the
thought you
last
were
part that you
listening.
heard? If you could just tell me so that I can come again with it. Hello.
You can Hello? Proceed. You can proceed. We can hear you now.
Yes. Okay. So I was talking
Yes,
about
okay.
why
So I was
do we enter into this partnership model, right? the very first thing is that you want to have a partner because you feel that company or that individual might bring in some skill set, either in terms of human resource or technology or network, that will help you make money faster, right? And second thing, it is because of the funds, so that you don't have to take all of the burden on yourself. So these are the two legit reasons why people looks or why people enter into a partnership model. Now when it comes to running a business, the business relationships that you make with other companies, these are mutual beneficial business relationships that helps your business grow at reduced cost, because it kind of creates synergies and gives the companies, both the companies, in fact, the cost and benefit advantage. And I think this is the most important reason why one should never look down on partnering with someone, because the upsides weigh a lot stronger than downsides. Now, when we talk about business relationships, it is an asset to any organization. And how it helps you achieve success, let's understand this. And I hope this will also answer to a question on, why should one look for global partners, or when should one look for global partners. uh, we look for global partners because we want to expand our business on a global level, first of all. Secondly, we want to reach more number of customers, or we want to enter a new geography. Basically, we are entering a foreign market, right? And or maybe we want to enter a new business line altogether because we have seen some opportunity over there. Entering into a partnership, however, should ideally come at quite a later stage, when you are done with your research. The reason is, when you know what your product is or is going to be, who will be your target customer. When you know this, it gives you a clear picture as to what you should expect from your business partner companies, and accordingly start looking for the best fit. Now you need to have certain things in place, because the key to operating, when you're operating in a global marketplace, knowing your market is the very very crucial thing. Companies expand beyond their core network. They have to create relationships. They need to create relationships with consumers, with partners and firms operating in other countries, as well as develop a deeper understanding of culture and business practices in the foreign markets. Because when you're entering into a foreign market, the entire the entire dimension changes. The taste and preferences of the consumers will change. How you operate, how your business is functioning, let's say in Africa, will not be same as in India. So you need to understand both the business practices as well as the consumer's taste and preferences before entering into a foreign market, and which requires lots of research. You just cannot decide one day, one night, and the next day you just jump onto that market. You need to do a thorough research. Hence, getting a suitable business partner means you might not need to invest your own resources, not only your own resources, but you will be able to get some resources of your partner companies. You will find sustainable solutions, which will help you in mitigating risk, because they know the market already. You will have more cost efficient paths to market. Secondly, if you're working with an overseas partner, it helps to reduce the impact of other adversities that you can't plan for. It is and it is important because they allow businesses, they allow their partners to access all the resources that they have, which will actually help in enhancing the competitiveness, because it is not just you who are entering the foreign market. It will also have other foreign players. It might have other foreign, let not just alone foreign, but also the domestic competition is something that you will be facing. So partnering, entering into a business partnership will help you in getting that technology transfer, knowledge sharing, whatever it is. You will be able to identify and use new opportunities. Thirdly, uh, if let's say you want to enter into a different product line altogether, overseas partners will benefit will help you in will help you staying ahead of the product lines which is already there in the market, gather customer requirement. They will gather the requirement so precisely that they know, whom the product needs to be targeted, how they can influence your business, or how they can influence each other's business in a number of other ways, such as bringing a new way of thinking, or promoting diversification, expanding the company's reach, bringing more equitable benefits to both the partners. And and this is something that I truly believe: when different visions and tactics merge, they can make the product more alluring and satisfying, for a large number of people. uh, the third thing that I covered in the content section was how to turn relationship into assets. Now, to when you are growing your business abroad, you have to partner with local businesses. You need to gain the trust of your local business partners and prospective customers in order to succeed, because trust is fundamental. You cannot gain trust of the in a foreign market until unless there is someone to promote you. And the most common ways of doing this is to send executives to build personal relations with international business partners, and or to hire local distribution partners who is there to pitch on your behalf, or independent third party intermediaries in terms of marketing, whatever it is. There has to be somebody who is creating that physical bond, physical relation with the direct customers you want to target to. They will be, because they are the one who will be representing your product or services overseas. Again, the rise of social media has created a new type of local partner, local digital influencers. Now it depends which industry you're operating in, what are your offerings. On a downside, businesses might run into issues where expectations don't meet, so things need to be taken care of. You need to ask yourself if you should bid for a new contract or try to form a partnership. You will have to look closely at how much it costs, and whether the relationship whether the relationship capital gained from this engagement will be sufficient enough, or not at all sufficient. You need to really understand all those metrics. And I really would like to emphasize, please understand that relationship assets create a bridge between the incoming and the outgoing cultures, because they're providing a common ground for communication between them. However, it is still it stays valid even for for partners, even if if it is a domestic, if it is at a national level, if it is at a a domestic level. Part relationship assets is any which way is crucial, but when it comes to tapping into a foreign market, it becomes much more important. Now, let's take an example of of a company of companies who are shifting from local to a global market. They may have to compete with similar product brands, not just at national but international level. Although the business is successful in its home country, this doesn't mean that the same marketing or the same product would help create a loyal customer base even at some other foreign marketplace. Many companies who are scaling their business, they utilize the power of relationship assets to familiarize their product in unknown marketplace. Now let's see Amazon, how wonderfully they have done this. How wonderfully they have set up their own marketplace, most popular online marketplace. I mean, it eliminates the requirement for direct contact with the consumer, and hence it is providing a much smoother experience for transition. Because at Amazon, it is not it is the intermediaries, it is the local sellers who are actually doing the transaction. Amazon has just provided a marketplace. They cannot it wouldn't have been possible for them to understand each and every region's each what kind of taste and preference does each country has. I mean, it varies at at a very small scale. And now the level at which Amazon is operating, it would have been a lot difficult. Now the real point is that an intermediary company provides a closer contact between companies, if the closing deal was done directly between Amazon and a household consumer, it would have been really haphazard. I mean, it couldn't have offered any solutions. Even if there was any problem, they wouldn't they couldn't even, they won't even have been able to solve it much more effectively than right now how the local sellers are doing. It must have been a totally unsatisfactory experience, for users, and Amazon wouldn't have built such a, big business globally. um, and in order to create this beneficial network and convert it into a relationship asset, you need to have certain you need to keep certain points in mind, that you need to build. You just don't have to you just don't have to find partners, but you have to build a strong relationship with your partners, and this comes only when both the parties are trusting each other. Secondly, uh, the ability to influence the behavior of other market players. If you are unable to influence the market directly, at least you have somebody in the foreign market who is there to do that on your behalf. They're able to influence, the market, the consumers. Third thing, it is very important to maintain a sustainable positive reputation in the international market. And lastly, the ability to invest resources to build and maintain those relationships. I think these are the four major things, that should be kept in mind when when you have a network but you haven't, converted those networks into assets. So I think these are certain things that needs to be kept in mind. The last point that I would like to cover is on the opportunities in Africa that has, brought global markets attention in this continent, in this particular continent. Um, so talking about Africa, I think the present mega trends in Africa are, really supportive of trade and investments in the region. And and I think the major, contributing factor, what has, brought attention is the large working age population in Africa, the growing era of entrepreneurial spirit, the growing population. I'm sure a significant share of interest must be there from several countries, but talking from the Indian context, I mean, I am someone who can speak from the Indian context. I think it was years ago, decades ago, when India expressed interest in ties with Africa. But in recent years, and especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, certain moves were taken. Certain moves were made that indicate its intention to become Africa's biggest, partner. Now, the developments in trade that has been taking place between India and Africa, or any other country and Africa, are, I think, indicative, of the growing alignment between, the growth agenda of a particular country and Africa's agenda to 2063. Because I mean, the way the way how things have been put up, by the people there, how open they are to collaborate with foreign companies. I think this has brought much more attention, and this has, opened up a lot more opportunities, where, a lot of core competencies of human resource, information technology, education, health sector has come up front. Not just, and again, the stronger interaction, the stronger ties between countries in Africa. I think, these are the emerging, what do you say, I think, emerging opportunities between Africa and India, that the businesses of both sides, must leverage to the optimum. Because I'm sure Africa is so rich of their own natural resources. They have their own assets, not just in terms of natural resources, but also in terms of mankind. They have, all these significant share of services are all ingredients for value adding the trade and investment relationships. And India's investment in Africa has accelerated. I mean, it has accelerated in recent years and has been heavily concentrated in certain industries like transport, storage, communication services, agriculture and mining, and many new emerging sectors driven by digital technologies, and not to forget the green economy. All these are creating a new set of opportunities between Africa and other nations, which both sides must leverage to optimum. Now, building on a growing trade and investment portfolio, it is more to look towards, collaborative work, effort, approach, trade, whatever. Um, and India, I think India's investment in Africa has I think recently there has been lots and lots of investment towards with in terms of manufacturing facility, and also in terms of agriculture operations. I think this two main areas is something where other two main sectors where we have seen the maximum LIs happening. I think this is the right time, when whosoever is starting to come up with a business, or whoever is in a certain business. I think this is the right time when you should, when you should stay open up for partnering with, collaborating with other companies, both at domestic level, both at national level and international level. You just need to find the right partners who can complement, who can complement your offerings. And I think once you are ready to accept that, it is not just going to help you, but it is going to improve the overall economy of both the countries. And yeah, so I think this is pretty much I wanted to cover about international business partnership. And I'm ready to take up questions now, if there is any.
I think this is well explained. So we'll take few questions, and then maybe we'll find time and then come for a part two of this. Want to be practical enough with this training.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
looking at what you are saying, so in India, what are some of the practical things uh, partners do look out for? Do you have to get capital? What do they really? Because you spoke about trust. What other things do partners look out for?
See, what do partners look out for? If I talk from my my perspective, I from Venue Labs, I think we have been in conversation since long, since a couple of months ago, right? So if I look to partner with an agri-tech company in Africa, I'll be looking what is it that they will be able to give me. I mean, we have technology. Will you is your farmers Are your farmers ready to get into a practice which is sustainable, which is smart? Are your farmers ready to enter into a, adopt a certain technology which will help them in enhancing, in improvising their agricultural operations? So I think it is not just about funds, Francis, that partners look, but it is about the skills. What do you bring on the table? I think that is more important. If you have something to bring on the table which is relevant for both the parties, and if you have that, certain influencing power, wherein you're able to engage lot many people, you're able to convince people about how they will be benefited. I think that these are certain things that is much more important than funds. I mean, fund is that is something that has to be there by default, right? I mean, if you're doing business, you have some money that you can invest, right? And you will definitely, whenever you are entering into a certain certain engagement, certain partnership, you will definitely keep that consideration amount in mind, basis which you will be deciding how much you're ready to invest, how much you're ready to give out, if you're ready to take that risk or not, if within a budget you're able to achieve the maximum or not. So I think that is by default, but otherwise the skills is very important.
That's great. So you spoke about how to find global partners. So you spoke about social media. So in these days where there are a lot of on the internet, what are the things we should look out for if we want to approach partners?
Okay, so if you're talking about, if you're asking me about the influencers, so I think these are these influencers is a this influencer marketing is a game changing model at these in these times. If you have a product and you have a, let's say you have a certain product, beauty product, which you want to promote in the Indian market, because you know that your product is also going to match, is made for Indian consumers as well. This satisfied, it is very much easy to get at least the 20% of the followers, 20% of the customers from those digital influencers. So let's say you have collaborated with five influencers who is bringing you 20%, or who is giving you 20% of the market. Now just assume if you if you collaborate with 10, 20 influencers, how big it can be.
Let's look at practical. What are some of the platforms to be able to find these investors? So I know that people do not really have the capital. They don't understand some of these things in Africa, where you can make good use of what people have done in the past and can also feed on it. So how do they go about it? Which platforms could give them access to these partners?
Okay, so I think LinkedIn is one of the best platform for sure, where you will find both investors as well as partners with whom you can do business, who might who will be investing in your company in terms of bringing in the technology, the knowledge, whatever they have, and also the investors. Otherwise, LinkedIn is one of the best platform. Second, again, if you're into some tangible product, as I said, beauty product, or maybe let's say apparel, whatever it is, a tangible product, I think Instagram is also somewhat really good platform wherein you can showcase your product, you can market your product. It depends what business you are into, right? A cosmetic product, it might not do well on LinkedIn as much as it would do on Instagram. So it depends from business to business. Thirdly, there are certain communities. I think there must be several social applications available in the market, wherein business communities are built. Let's say you have an interest in find in in building a startup, you don't have a partner. Those communities will come in there, will come in there. So you will definitely find local communities both online and offline, and they are the best platforms otherwise, apart from LinkedIn and Instagram. I think these local communities, they serve you the best. So I think from my side, like if you ask me, I think these three are the major platforms or major areas where you should look out for investors or business partners. Apart from that, I'm sure, like just like how Indian government has has built certain websites, has built certain platforms, has, through colleges, through institutes, they have opened up so many programs wherein the entrepreneurs, the upcoming entrepreneurs, can pitch their ideas, and whoever is interested in in certain area, in certain industry, if they want to invest in it, if they want to hear it a bit more in detail, they can interact with each other. I'm sure just like how it is in India, in Africa it must be there, I'm sure. So I think these are certain platforms where, which comes off, which is of huge help. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Some of the platforms these investors. So I know that Africa. So I know that
Hello.
hello. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, Francis.
Yes, I can hear you now, Francis. Okay, so want us to look at this simple question somebody's asking. Is it that easy?
No, it is not at all easy. It is not at all easy.
No, it is not at all.
Networking
It's
is
not
one
at all
thing,
easy.
building
Networking is
relationship
one thing. Building relationship.
to assets, that is very difficult, because it is the first impression that gives you a yes or a no. and and I'm not saying getting a business deal in just one interaction, I'm not talking about that, but how confident you are about whatever you are pitching is, and how and what kind of confidence you have in your product or in your service that can influence their decision. Because until and unless they are satisfied, until and unless they are influenced, they cannot influence the other set of people. So I think it is not at all easy. You need to really know that art of converting the relationships into assets. So yeah.
uh, this is laudable. We are doing this because there are a lot of unemployment issues in our part of the world, and I think that this is one of the opportunities people can fall on to um, enrich their lives, making their lives better. There are a lot of problems to be solved here where the resources are very limited. I think making partnership with other people from other countries could help young and coming entrepreneurs to get grounds. You don't need to cook the concept from scratch and then go through the hell of developing it. It becomes a bigger company. You can as well fall on other companies to make some money for yourself. I think we can talk about what you do now and how people can also tap into what you do for some few minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Before that, what you just said, about why to look for partners, again, looking at certain issues, the unemployment factor, the unemployment, going on. I would like to just just speak one line about that. You said it very correctly. You cannot think of building things from scratch when it is already there in the market. If you know that this there is something in the market that you're interested in, it has got a lot of potential, you shouldn't try to build exactly the same thing from scratch, but instead you should think how you can add value to that same existing product, same existing service. If you are able to identify that, if you're able to put that on table, your value addition, your part, your contribution, I think that is where the partnership comes into the picture. That also gives that also gives the other partner, that also gives the other party some confidence about why he should do business with you. So yeah, I think that is one line that I wanted to add. And now talking about what I do, so I think in at the initial at the very beginning of the video, Francis, you, as you already said, that I I'm a part of iAvenue Labs, which operates in India. It is an agri-tech company, and we are working on in we are progressively working towards precision agriculture, and we are trying to push Indian farmers here to adopt sustainable and smart practices, before we lose what we are left with. I mean, as you said, the climate issues. I mean, this is the agriculture is again one of the major contributor in climate issues. So I think adopting the precision agriculture, adopting organic farming, sustainable farming practices is very important. With climate change, depletion of natural resources are on the cusp of destruction, it is high time we understand what we are doing to this planet. So I think that's what our main agenda is, to boost sustainable practices among farmers, not just in India but globally, wherever we are, wherever we get an opportunity. We will be we are here to work with farmers to begin with selective farmers to begin with, and to see how things evolve. So anybody in here listening on to this webinar, anybody from agriculture background can contact me to discuss the possible synergies, if they want to bring in some. So we are working primarily in remote sensing technology, so we are making farm monitoring simpler and smarter. So anybody would like to try, see a demo, I would love to show them. So yeah, that's pretty much about what I'm doing, and the team is doing.
Great. So for those who didn't catch it, agri-tech, so they do technology for agriculture development. So those who are into commercial farming, they have softwares and technologies that can help you identify issues with the farm, make sure that you get the right nutrients for the crops and all those things. It's a very nice initiative. We are keeping in touch, hoping to help Ghanaian farmers to also adapt to systems. So this is an opportunity for you watching us. If you have time, you have the resources, you can add to the table. Just connect with us and let's keep business going. Um, Partnership is very important. So before we go, is there any word you want our viewers to hear from you?
Can you come again, Francis?
I'm saying that before we close curtains on today's one, we will have another section where we go deep into India and Ghana's relationships. But is there any comment you want to pass across to our viewers?
Nothing such. But yes, I would be looking forward to more these kind of interactions. If I can, share some knowledge about India-Ghana relations to the community there. If I can convince them, if I can influence people over there, to be partner, to partnering with Indian companies, I think I'll be really grateful. I'll be really glad. But yeah, nothing such, Francis.
Please, can you come again? I didn't really get it.
So I have no such comment to make, Francis. But yes, I'm saying that I'll be looking forward to another discussion happening with the community there, where I can influence them in building strong ties with Indian companies, because the kind of potential that the communities, the people in both these countries have, I think that is commendable. So I think I'll be looking forward to hearing from other people and from other anybody who is interested in making ties with us. I don't hear you, Francis. Hello. Francis, it seems there is some network problem because I don't hear you at all.